The room is dimly lit, illuminated by the cold, sterile glow of multiple monitors displaying various camera feeds. Jake, 20s, a young, tired-looking security guard, sits hunched over, watching the screens with weary eyes. The only other light source is a flickering fluorescent lamp overhead, casting long, dancing shadows that seem to ride with a life of their own. The air is thick with the smell of stale coffee and a faint, metallic tang that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. Sound of rain and distant, rumbling thunder. The rain lashes against the reinforced windows of the security booth, each drop sounding like a desperate plea for escape. The thunder vibrates deep in your chest, a primal drumbeat that speaks of ancient forces and forgotten horrors. They say the night holds its own secrets, that when the sun retreats, the world transforms. But some places are steeped in darkness, where the veil between worlds thins and the secrets are not of this world. I should know. My name is Jake, and for a short, terrifying time, I was the night watchman at the Blackwood Rail Terminal. A close-up on a page from a rule book. The rules are written in a stark, formal style, the ink almost black as blood, but with an underlying sense of dread that seeps off the page and into your very soul. The paper is old, brittle, and feels disturbingly cold to the touch. Rule 1. Your shift begins at 11 p.m. and ends at 7 a.m. You are not to arrive early, and you are not to leave late. Time is delicate here. Rule 2. The cameras are your eyes. Watch them diligently. If a camera malfunctions, report immediately, but do not attempt to repair it yourself. Some things are best left unseen. Rule 3. If the cameras go black, do not look directly at the monitors. Peripheral vision only, and pray it passes quickly. Rule 4. The terminal is silent. The only sounds you should hear are the hum of the equipment and the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Any other sounds are not to be trusted. Rule 5. Patrol the east and west platforms hourly. The central platform is off limits. Do not question this. Rule 6. The trains do not run at night. If you see or hear a train, it is not a train. Rule 7. Any unusual sounds are to be logged in triplicate and submitted to control at the end of your shift. Do not investigate. Your curiosity could be your undoing. Rule 8. Control is your only contact. Any communication with them outside of scheduled check-ins will be interpreted as a breach of protocol. They are watching. Rule 9. The shadows are not empty. They move, they whisper, and they hunger. Keep your light close. Rule 10. If you see IT, do not acknowledge IT. Do not speak. Do not move. Do not breathe. It sees you, but it must not know that you see IT. I thought it was a joke. Some kind of elaborate prank for the new guy. I mean, come on, haunted train station? But the look in the supervisor's eyes when he handed me that rule book, it wasn't a joke. It was a warning. A warning I should have heeded. The camera shows Jake's face. In the beginning, he's nervous but trying to be professional. As the night progresses, his face becomes increasingly disheveled and gaunt, his eyes wide with terror, dark circles under them, his hair matted with sweat. The security cameras show various locations within the Blackwood Rail Terminal. Long, empty hallways that stretch into an oppressive darkness, the only light coming from flickering, buzzing fluorescent bulbs that cast grotesque shadows. A vast, echoing warehouse filled with stacked crates, the darkness between them seeming to writhe and shift. A seemingly endless train platform, stretching into the inky blackness, where the tracks gleam wetly in the rain, disappearing into the abyss. The platform is empty, or is it? Sound of strange, unsettling noises that permeate the silence. A distant metallic screech that grates against the teeth, a low, guttural hum that seems to vibrate from the very foundations of the building. The sound of something heavy, impossibly heavy, dragging across the floor, leaving a trail of something. Jake VO. It started subtly enough. A flicker on the cameras. A strange sound that I couldn't quite place. I tried to rationalize it. A rat, the wind, the old building settling. But the rules, they gnawed at me. They were always there, whispering in the back of my mind, telling me that something was wrong, terribly wrong. On one of the monitors, in the background a shot of the empty platform, a distorted figure appears. It's tall, impossibly tall, and moves with a jerky, unnatural gait. It's there for a split second, then vanishes. But it's enough. Sound of Jake's panic breathing, ragged and shallow. Jake, Control, this is Guard 7. I'm seeing some irregularities. Camera 12, there was something. The radio crackles, then a voice, calm but distorted, inhumanly so, fills a small booth. Guard 7, please refer to your rulebook. Jake frantically flips through the rulebook, his hand shaking so violently that the pages tear. His eyes widen with horror as he finds a relevant rule, the words seeming to leap off the page and burn into his brain. On-screen text. Rule 8. Any communication with Control outside of scheduled check-ins will be interpreted as a breach of protocol. Jake, VO. They knew what was happening, and they left me here. I was alone. Utterly, terrifyingly alone with whatever it was. The sounds and visual anomalies escalate rapidly. The figure on the cameras becomes more frequent, more distinct, and more menacing. It's no longer a fleeting glimpse. It's there, watching, waiting. Its form shifts and changes, sometimes tall and gaunt, sometimes hunched and grotesque, always unsettling, always wrong. Jake is shown increasingly losing his grip on reality. He talks to himself, his paranoia growing with each passing hour. He jumps at shadows, his eyes darting nervously around the booth. He starts to see things that aren't there, or perhaps things that are there but shouldn't be. Security guard station night. Hours have passed. The security guard station is now a scene of chaos. Overturned furniture forms a pathetic barricade against the door. Makeshift weapons, a heavy-duty flashlight, a fire extinguisher, lie uselessly on the floor. Jake is huddled in a corner, his body trembling uncontrollably. His eyes are bloodshot and filled with primal terror, dark circles etched deep into his face. His hair is matted with sweat and grime, and his uniform is stained with what might be blood, or might just be sweat and desperation. The monitors flicker and die, one by one, plunging the booth into near darkness. The only remaining light comes from a flickering fluorescent lamp, now strobing erratically, casting grotesque, dancing shadows that mimic the movements of the entity outside. The sounds are deafening now. The rattling of the door is violent and insistent, like something large and powerful is trying to break through. The metallic screeching is closer, louder, accompanied by a chorus of guttural growls and hisses that seem to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Sound of the door splintering and cracking. Jake, I'm not going to make it, am I? This is it. This is how it ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. A long, drawn-out, terrifying whimper. The door bursts open, splintering into shards of wood. The camera cuts to static, a blinding white noise that fills the screen and your mind. Sound of a blood-curdling scream, raw and animalistic, cut short, followed by a wet, sickening thud, then silence. A silence so profound, so absolute, that it's more terrifying than any scream. The sun rises on the Blackwood Rail Terminal, casting long, skeletal shadows across the deserted platforms. The rain has stopped, and the air is still and heavy, pregnant with an unspoken dread. Everything appears normal, peaceful. The birds are singing, oblivious to the horrors of the night before. A new security guard, young and fresh-faced, arrives for the day's shift, whistling cheerfully, looking utterly oblivious to the darkness that clings to the very stones of the terminal. He carries a thermos of coffee and a worn copy of a paperback novel, ready for a long, uneventful shift. The camera focuses on the security guard station, now silent and still, its door hanging open like a broken jaw. A faint, unsettling sound can still be heard from within, a low, rhythmic dripping that echoes in the morning calm. The new guard doesn't seem to notice. He walks past the station, heading towards the main building, his whistling fading into the distance. The camera lingers on the open doorway, the darkness within promising that the horrors of the night are not truly over, that they are merely waiting for the next shift, the next victim. The Blackwood Rail Terminal remains in operation to this day. The trains still run, the passengers still come and go, and the night shift still needs to be filled. The rules are still in place, whispered from supervisor to guard, a grim legacy passed down through the years. And the entity, whatever it is, still waits patiently in the shadows for the next unsuspecting soul to fall under its sway. Some say, on quiet nights, you can still hear the echoes of Jake's screams, a chilling reminder of the price of breaking the rules.